This video review is being brought to you by PrimeToys.net. PrimeToys.net, where you can get your collector grade toys at not the collector grade prices. PrimeToys.net. And I'm a reviewer, so let the reviews be joined. Hey guys, this is your friend Dinobot here once again with you for another video review. And as you can guess and look and see here, we have, today we're going to look at Transformers Combiner Wars, basically Wave 5. Or excuse me, not Wave 5, Wave 4, Deluxe Class, Prowl. Once again, I wanted to look at this piece by piece. We have Prowl. I want to set him aside here because he's got a little bit behind him. But we're going to get, as usual with the other Deluxes, we have his comic, which has his exclusive cover here from Hasbro of Prowl and his Combiner Wars, basically, mode. This is again a reprint of the IDW book, and this one of course is the reprint of IDW's Robots in Disguise issue excuse me, issue number 37. If you've been keeping up with IDW, I'm not going to fully get into details or anything on the book, but in this basically you have put it short and sweet that Prowl, at one point in the comics and the IDW books that have come out, became part of the Constructicons, thanks to Megatron and Bombshell in part. But being part of the Constructicons, because at this point we all know there's 6 Constructicons. Scavenger had been killed, long time ago. But in the comic, Prowl has become a part of the Combiners. Became part of them, and then he gets reformatted again by the basically the combination Spark into his form now, where he combines with Prime to become Omega Prime. And he's basically the Deluxe class, where Prime's of course the Voyager and whatnot. But again, it's not bad at all. The comic, I do highly recommend you guys picking those up. The story is great. James Robert does a great job for his work, and I definitely advise you guys to pick up the comics of Robots in Disguise, or excuse me, it's not Robots in Disguise anymore. It's just regular Transformers, thanks to the Transformers animated series we have out by the same name, of the continuation of Prime. But let's not go into too much more into the comic. Let's look at what you're here for, which is Deluxe Class Prowl here. And as many of you know and know about this already, he is the Wave 4 figure. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused here. He's part of the next latest wave, the Wave 5. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Wave 4, but he's part of 5. He is a remold, once again, repaint remold of another figure, as with all the Combiner Wars. First and foremost, he started out as Dead End. Then he gets repainted into Breakneck, and both of those have been repainted again. So that's at least 4 versions of it. Both of those are being the Dead End and the Breakneck are getting their G2 colors. So that's 4 uses of the mold, at least right there. Another use of the mold, basically the 5th use, was Streetwise, which is here, and this is being the 6th use. We actually have a 7th use of the mold coming out for Smokescreen, and Smokescreen is going to be part of the next wave with Skylinks to be for his combined team. I believe he has Prowl, or not, excuse me, not Prowl, Hound, Smokescreen. Who's the other 2 with him? Wheeljack, and there's one other guy with him whose name escapes me right now, but there's those 3 guys with them. And of course those are all remolds as well, but we'll get into that another time. Let's look here at Prowl. Sadly I can't compare the Dead End or the Breakneck. I don't have them anymore. I am actually, as I mentioned in the previous video, I'm going to get the Takara versions, or the Unite Warriors basically versions of those as well, so look forward for those hopefully in the near future. But as you can see here, we're going to look at comparing just to Streetwise. You can see the difference really between them. Both of them, of course, being a remold or repaints of each other. You know, Prowl's a little bit more whiter, of a white color scheme. They both have basically the same headlights and everything. Different paints for his windshields. Got the blue here where Prowl's all white. Basically same type of Autobot logo. And of these two, I really like the Prowl better. Mostly for the logo, like here on the side, he's got the Highway Patrol. Basically for his logo, he's got the nice black along the bottom, you know, on each side and the front end. I really like that. And I also like the silver, even though it's basically the same on Streetwise, where Streetwise also has the silver here where all this is black for Prowl. I do like that. I kind of wish they maybe did a little bit of silver here just to make that stand out a little bit more, but it's still not too bad. But otherwise, it's, you know, the same exact figure, just painted differently. We're going to set Streetwise aside, and we're going to go ahead and transform Prowl here into one of his limb modes. We're going to go ahead like normal. Oh, before we forget, I forget this. Before we do that, let's look again at his weaponry. We have his combiner limb, of course, which is nice. It's a repaint, remold of the original, which is, here's the original. This is actually Streetwise's. You can see it's just Streetwise's is black, where Prowl's is silver and gray. So I mean, same thing. Nothing real, no big difference between them really, other than the paint. And we'll set these here. And we're bringing his weapon. Prowl, of course, has basically this pump action shotgun, which I really like this. I think this is one of the better looking weapons of all the Combiner Wars. It's actually a triple barrel shotgun. And here's Streetwise. Prowl's, I wish they had painted this more of a black color, or even been kind of like there with a silver, maybe a brighter silver, just to make it look better to me. But I still like it. Even though it's white, I still think it's a really badass weapon. I think it's, like I said, I think it's one of the better looking weapons of all of them, of all the Combiner Wars weapons. But we'll set this aside, and we'll set Streetwise aside. We'll look at the, you know, basically with this again, you can put the weapons here on them, on each side. You got the little peg hole here on the side port for each side. You can put the Prowl's weapon there if you want, or you can put it right here on the top as well. Which, again, that doesn't look bad. It actually looks pretty respectable for them. You can even really peg it back here if you want to, but it kind of looks weird. And then, of course, you can combine this, or excuse me, peg this in. You can do it here, but it doesn't really, not going to really help him like that, unless he, you know, say he's driving 2 wheels, he makes it disappear, blast, makes it disappear, and lands back down. You can, of course, peg it up here on the top, which again, this doesn't look too shabby either. And of course, you can peg it back here, which is basically what you're going to do here in a minute for his foot mode. But let's show that mode off. Real easy. The best way to do it, push this down just a little bit, just to go ahead and pop this front end. Pardon me. Pop the front windshield. Rotate it back. You can then, excuse me, want to cough here. Flip this whole front end of the whole body, including this area here back, and you want to flip it all the way, like so, because it's got a double hinge there. I got a piece of hair or something right there, but you got a nice double hinge there that actually helps it get it out of the way. Then all you do is take the combiner, or excuse me, the foot, stick it like so, and also don't forget to pull your combiner port up, which I did. Just rotate this up, and boom. I don't know why he doesn't want to, for some reason my back end on that one doesn't want to stay together too well. I may not have them fully transformed properly, but it's alright. But this is his combine mode, or you know, his limb mode for him being in the leg. It's actually not bad. I do like this better than his arm mode, but you can set them up how you would like. I actually think this is how, I can't remember, I should have written this down, which I do apologize I didn't do, to make sure which limb he's supposed to form in the combine mode for Prime. Even though they're Scramble City, they can be any limb. I do believe he is a leg in the comics and stuff. I should have double checked that, and I apologize I didn't, but again, that's basically his limb mode for his leg. Now we'll go on to his robot mode. Real simple. Best way to do this, of course, we take the peg leg off. You want to rotate the combiner port back down and back into place, and then you can either flip it this way or the bottom way, whichever you prefer. As you can see, it's already split here, and we're going to rotate this out, which I'm actually doing this the wrong way. Should start at the bottom. Just flip, like I showed, like there. Flip the panels down and out like so. This actually works better for you, like that. And then you rotate this section back. If you had these pegged together, they'd both go back, but both rotate them back. And like with the dead end, breakneck, and all the other molds, you have this double ratchet basically joint here, which is one of the better things I like about these combiners. And rotate that down and straighten it out. You can see it's got a little slot here, and it's got this little slot right there. I'm not sure what's going to come across on camera. A little bit there that's going to kind of sort of peg into it, like so. Rotate this down on this side, and I'm going to try to see if I can get it in there where you can see. You can see that how it slides right in and pegs together, keeping it nice and tight and straight. Now we're not done yet, because we're going to turn around and we're going to basically, the best way to do it is pull right here, pull this up, and you can see it's on this ratchet here. Pull that out, and then just, you'll hear it click, pull it back down. Do the same on this side. And of course mine doesn't click on this side, but there you go. That's his, basically getting him in his arms out. And to get his hands out, all you do is pull right here, which it's better to pull up here, and you got his fists like so. Nice tight joint there. Do the same on this side. There's his other hand. And while we got him here, we're going to go ahead and rotate here at the waist. Rotate that whole section back and around. Get his crotch out and get his legs rotated straight out. You can go ahead and get his arms straightened out a little bit if you want. Next, right here, this is always the toughest, not want to say toughest part, but it's easily forgettable to do. Pull this area here, and you can see here's his head. You want to pull that a little bit. As you pull it, it's going to bring the front end here just enough, and it's going to ratchet like so. And you can see how it doesn't come down. It's because there's actually a double joint right in there to help you, which I'm catching with the arms here in the way because of the back section here. You actually want to pull this section out, the front end here, and just pull it down back into this position, which helps it to get it into this position. And you see how there's two peg holes right here. The chest cover here is going to peg right into that, like so. You then have Prowl in his robot mode. You straighten him out some there, which is really, really nice. I do dig it. I do dig the way I do. This is one of my favorite molds of the line. Aside from Roka is really good, considering it basically was a new mold at the time. But this one is, of all the other car modes, I think this is one of my favorite ones. Basically because of the way it just looks. I'm going to actually give him his gun real quick. We'll put that in his hand, and we'll set him here. And if y'all will just bear with me for like a minute, I'm going to quickly transform Streetwise here off camera into his robot mode as well, just to get it where I can do a little comparison where you can see really the difference in paint, but not really any of the difference other than, again, other the paint and the head sculpt on these guys that are really, really any different. Because like I said, you know, these guys have got some really, really good use of the molds, and Hasbro is just making use of that mold, making use of getting every basically cent out of these molds as they can, which is nothing really wrong with that from a business standpoint. But most of us are probably getting tired of the same molds being used over and over and over. But okay, here we go. We got him in his robot mode, and we're going to bring him in and stand him right next to Prowl. And as you can see, I'm going to kind of display him a little different just to show you the difference between them. Definitely looks really good. I do think the brighter white on Prowl makes him stand out. I don't know how well it's coming across on my camera and stuff, but I'll try to zoom it in a little bit so you can see. It's still really cool. Streetwise is still a really good figure, real good character as well. And these basically both being the police bots of the Autobots, basically. It's really cool. Let's go ahead and put Streetwise and give him his gun too, just to make him more intimidating. I mean, if you were a Decepticon, you're being chased by basically the Autobot police, and you got these two guys coming at you. Wouldn't you surrender? I probably would. But there's the comparison, as I said. Mostly the white, I think, really makes Prowl stand out. We'll set Streetwise back out of the way, and I'm not going to go too much into his articulation, because you basically know if you've seen my dead end breakneck review. Basically the same. You got the shoulder joint there, elbow, waist, and you got the head swivel, and of course the knee. That's basically all his articulation. We're going to go now into arm mode, which is pretty much the weakest of all his forms: robot, vehicle, and arm and leg. I think that the arm is the worst of the lot, but basically we do the same thing. We just basically transform them sort of into car mode, sort of into foot mode, sort of into robot mode. Flip his fists out of the way. Rotate these up. Don't really lock them in, just kind of lay them into the side of them like so. And you're going to basically flip his car or his hood back down the way it was, like you're going to put it in car mode, or excuse me, in leg mode. Rotating all this around like so, just to get it, basically opens up the port here. Rotate the combiner port out. You just basically you have on the basic exhaust here on the leg. You'll rotate this down into place, and then just peg this back together like you're transforming to car mode. And then you rotate it. You can rotate it one of two ways: this way or this way. It's really, if you do it this way, you'll lose the extra bend here if you really want that for his knee, or basically what his knees are for robot mode. But it's kind of better, really, if you want the extra bend there just for display. You have it like so, but that's basically it, aside from, of course, taking this combiner port piece here, bring the fingers out, rotating it down, and I'm flipping it the wrong way because it's got to be basically in this arm side, and we just peg it into that peg hole, and there's his limb mode for his arm. Not too bad. It's pretty decent. It's a remold, a reuse of the mold. I mean, he's going to go with Prime. If you rather, like I said before, I should have checked on this, but I completely forgot to. But I do believe he is a leg on Prime, and you watch my Prime review, because I will have it in that mode, respective mode, pretty soon. But we're going to flip him back into his robot mode just to end this video. Rotate this up, put this around, and bring his hands back out on both sides. Let's bend them up just to give them some look. Rotate that back down, bring this back around. Yeah, I keep forgetting to do that. Rotate this up, there we go. Peg that back in, flip that back down, and Prowl's back in robot mode. Going to give him his shotgun, and I have to admit, you can do some pretty good posing with him with his gun if you work it just a little bit. Like, you can stand him up like so, and just kind of, oh, come on, there we go, kind of shift its hand a little bit. You can kind of hold him like so, you can work it just a little bit. You can really get his gun in there if you really work at it, just to give him a good little posability with it. Come on, I had it good. There we go. That's a little bit better. So it kind of looks like he's pump action. You can rotate him down just a little bit, just to give him his little head off his head a little bit. There we go. That's better. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Now, you asking yourself as usual, it's pretty cool. Would you recommend picking him up? Yes, I do recommend picking him up. He is very, very cool. Best use of the mold in my book, because I think the white really makes it stand out. I've said that several times in this video, but there you go. Where can you pick them up? Why, primetoys.net, of course. I'll have a link below to where you can pick them. Just click on it and you can pick them up from there. And this month on primetoys.net for the month of December, go on there, put in the code TRANSMISSIONSDECEMBER, get 10% off your order. So it's definitely worth going in there and picking this guy up, get 10% off, and get him shipped to you. Get the whole wave if you like of him, Ironhide, Sunstreaker, and Mirage. So definitely worth checking them out. And you can even get both primes on there. You got the red prime, original prime, and basically the Battle Core prime, which is what everybody calls the white one. But still pretty cool. And that's going to be it, guys. As always, please like, comment, and share this video. Oh, one last thing. Be sure to check out Transmissions Podcast. Almost forgot to plug them. It's their code as well. For Transmissions Podcast, I'll have a link to their podcast below as well. Go check them out. Very cool, good guys. They'll talk anything and everything Transformers. So definitely worth checking them out. But as I was saying, please like, comment, and share this video. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. And I'll also post links to my Twitter, to my email, and my Instagram. If you guys want to follow me, send me an email. Ask me any questions you would like on my email. If you want to send a comment below in the comments, do so as well. But that's going to be it for this video, and I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope to hear from you all soon.